Hello, and welcome to Slatington Elementary School. I'm Mr. Pine, the principal. As you come to Slatington Elementary School, you will see on the ground and the steps going up to the school that there are white paw prints printed. These are for all people coming to the school in order to indicate where 6-foot distancing is for social distancing purposes. If you are coming to the school for any reason, we do ask that you call in advance and make an appointment indicating why you're coming. When you do come, please hit the buzzer. You'll be greeted. You'll be asked why you are there and who you are. And depending on what the need is, you may be asked to wait outside or you may be invited in. On those occasions when you are invited in, you'll be greeted by Mrs. Nonamaker at the front desk and or by Mrs. Belts, my secretary, who is back there in the corner. As you leave the office to go out into the main first floor, you'll see social distancing stickers once again. To the right, there is a set of bathrooms there, often used by the physical education classes, as well as our nurses' suite. Heading back over towards our physical education environment in the gymnasium, you'll see we have a pretty wide foyer area. And again, as you go into the gym, you'll see these stickers on the floor, which are meant to assist us with social distancing, maxing out above 6 feet in the gym environment. Also, on the first floor, I almost forgot, you will see throughout the school that we have these hand sanitizing stations in order to encourage students to continually sanitize throughout the day. Also, on the first floor, you will find our 6th grade wing. To the right of this image we have 2 classrooms connected to an atrium. One of them is our science class and one is one of our special education classes. And you will see that each of our hallways for our grade levels is shaped pretty much the same in a U. There's Mrs. Ware's class. So I generally tell people if they're in the hallways and they don't know where they're going, keep walking and turning right and you'll find your way back. To the left of this image is Mrs. Wanamaker and Mrs. Capoleccia's class. Here's where Mrs. Biles' class is, our emotional support teacher. And we're back around where we started. Now, as we move down that hallway, come back out into the foyer. And as we passed it before up here on the right, you'll see our main stairwell, which leads up to the 2nd floor. We are using directional arrows in order to indicate to students to stay to the right as they're moving to maximize spacing between them. And as you saw on the first floor, we will continue to see social distancing stickers in order to help them better understand and see what 6 feet looks like. Off to the right when you come up the stairs, there's our technology education room, as well as our art room. And here's our cafeteria, which you'll notice is set up a little bit differently for those of you who've seen it before. And this is in order to elongate the space, which has allowed us to get more students in the cafeteria while once again maintaining 6 feet distancing. Here's where students line up. We will be lining up students in phases this year and keeping them 6 feet apart, and they will come into the line, retrieve their meal, and then be returned to their seat. At the end of lunch, we will be collecting all garbage and disposing of it, and then the students will exit from the opposite door they entered. Again, once again, being directed to maintain social distancing. In addition to the stickers, we will be teaching the students how to use other visual landmarks in the school in order to know whether or not they're maintaining 6 feet. This area is our bus loop, where students would enter the school if they were coming in off the bus. Now, as I was mentioning before, where these stickers are, those sets of blue and tan tiles that run across, are all just over 6 feet in distance. So we'll also be guiding students in using those in order to keep an eye on their distance to others. Up here on the right, you'd see our 4th grade wing. And I'm not going to actually take us down there right now, but our 4th grade wing is designed just like all the other wings in a U shape, with our teachers being Mrs. Middow, Mrs. Fink, Mr. Ross, Mr. Neal, Mrs. Iser, and Mrs. Binder. I just took you into the library where you saw Mr. Green. On the far end of the school, let me not miss these. On the left, I had mentioned earlier that we have an atrium. We have an atrium with a greenhouse. That's largely maintained by Miss Mendez and in part the gardening club. And directly across from that is our exit doors to our playground and our recess area. Recess will look a little bit different this year. Students are required to wear masks during recess unless engaged in activities in which they can securely remain 6 feet or greater apart. We will be trying to sort of plan in activities that they'll be able to do, as well as the bus platform having white paws around it in order to sort of provide a masks off hangout area. So as I was going to say earlier, at the far end of our school is our 5th grade with Miss Fry and Miss Spears' class. To the right there, Mr. Mengel and Mr. Murtis' class to the right of this area. Those are our stickers for waiting for the bathroom. And Miss Balia and Mr. Tullio's classrooms. To the left here is Mr. Stillwell's classroom. It's the life skills class. And let's take one more look at that beautifully kept atrium and greenhouse. And up here on the right, we have our 3rd grade wing. As I sit here now tonight, I believe our 3rd grade teachers have just ended their open house. And so you'll see some lights on down that way. Our 3rd grade teachers are Ms. DeBilio, Ms. Lychak, Ms. McMullen, Ms. Stubitz, Ms. Cannon, and Ms. Green. Again, you'll see directional arrows. There are a few times throughout the day when students are going to be crossing paths in opposite directions, because we are having teachers transition between spaces where necessary. But we do want to make sure that students have the cues to do that. This is the direction students would be moving in as they were leaving the building if they were leaving for parent pickup. And that brings us back to where we started, the main office and the front doors. So at this time, I want to thank you for taking this very unorthodox tour with me of Slatington Elementary School. We look very much forward to spending time with you this year.